So yeah, I mean, no one is going to uh, come in our homes and warn us, like unless you have some friend who is deep into the, you know, he has some inside info or anything, and you're even not supposed to be telling that stuff. But I'm not saying that I have some inside info. I mean, I wish I had. But what I'm trying to say is that we need to be careful as investors. I mean, investing is quite risky. If you have loads of money and loads of cash as well, and loads of gold and silver and things like that, you don't need to be worried. In the long term, investing in the stock market, if you know what you're doing, if you're investing in the right stocks, you're alright. But if your savings are not that big, and if you're worried and if you're cautious, you need to do something about uh, the potential risks, and you need to think ahead, like Bezos did the last time the stocks went down, and try to protect as much as you can before it's too late. And why do we say buy gold? Why everyone is saying buy gold? Well, it's not by accident. I mean, everyone would tell you who has been, in the trenches, and everyone can look it up. Every single one of us can just look it up, and you can see how gold has been successful in protecting people's wealth for thousands of years, probably at least 5,000 years, maybe even more. So it's not a rocket science if you look at it at that angle. I mean, if you can convert like 5-10% of your wealth in gold, so that you know that whatever happens, you have your gold. And if you feel that, you know if you look at things like that lining up for gold in front of China's banks, and the way the price of gold and silver moved in a matter of weeks, all the financial advisors have got so many subscriptions to world renowned authors, to the best names in the industry. So all of them are just screaming buys for gold, screaming buys. Loads of the predictions are in the thousands, like $5,000 gold by the end of 2020. Can you imagine 5,000? That's more than double from where it is now. I remember like 2 years ago, uh, so so much recommending people buy gold and expect a crash, and everyone was like I'm crazy, and even I was not expecting a a global emergency, like like we have now. I was, but in a different way. But if you think about it, they were predicting, the guys who I followed, they were predicting like kind of a world war, and It's very strange that the figures of some of the stuff are pointing to a world war, because the last time we saw things like major football leagues closing down and things like that. That was during the Second World War, if I'm not mistaken. And loads of things like that which are pointing to that direction. And we might even be in a war. Imagine someone uh, intentionally doing the things which are happening now. I would say that's very possible. I would not say uh, who, but just think about why. There is so many big, uh, you know, so many fights over, and not just from now, from years and years ago, like fighting for territory, fighting for gold, fighting for oil and and domination and things like that. There is not that hard to accept that it's a possibility that someone wanted all of this to happen, but it doesn't even really matter that much. I mean, it does, but not that much. At the end of the day, we can't change how things are. The only thing we can change is ourselves. By changing ourselves and by being cautious and trying to understand, trying to trying to catch trying to catch the trends. I believe a big trend, if you follow the politics around the world, is like going digital for too many things. Probably most of the jobs are not going to be back. Loads of new jobs are going to be created by the green energy sector, like companies like Tesla. Well, if you think about it, Tesla just opened like two or three factories, one in China, one in Germany, and that's huge factories. Can you imagine how many workplaces were created and loads of jobs would be created in the green sector in general, because the all the governments have been sat down many times, and they have discussed the global warming, for example, and they're trying to change all the laws, uh, put more taxes for cars which are not green, for companies, countries which produce loads of CO2 and things like that. Toyota already has a hybrid car. Tesla is so big on green stuff, and I would say with a reason, because uh, when you think about it, it's quite good for the economy. It's good for the economy. It's more sustainable. It's good for the planet. It's good for the kids, for the grandkids, for the next generations. It's good for everyone almost.